So today I'll be, showcasing how to actually create a Powersave, as it's called, or a QR code. This is basically going to go over absolutely everything that's associated with that, running the program, downloading the program, and also the basics on how to actually use it. Okay, so for the purpose of this video, I will be using my laptop. The reason why it doesn't create as much noise, and at the same time it's easier to actually zoom in on my screen. Anyways, as you can see, this is my desktop. So first thing that I'm going to do is, in the description, there's actually going to be a link to a website. This is where you can download the program that we'll be talking about today. So, to download the program, just simply click on the first link, and that file that you're looking for is just right over here. Next, I'll be providing another link. This is where you're going to be uploading it as a QR code. So something that you can actually tangibly put inside your game. So enough being said, let's actually boot up the program. The program's going to take probably about 5-10 minutes depending on your internet speed. It's going to vary depending on, that's just my cat on the other side of the door. But anyways, like I was saying, it's going to vary depending on your internet speed, on how long it's going to take. It's not a huge file, so you don't really have too much to worry about. Okay, so first things first, select the kind of species. So scroll down until you see a Pokemon that you want to create. And next up, you have the option to put the amount of experience in, or for me, I just usually prefer to go to level. So let's say a level 35 Shaymin. It's going to automatically predict how much experience points it needs to actually reach that level, which is something I do like about this program. Another option is that you could nickname it by checking this click mark, and then nicknaming it whatever you choose. So, just for demonstrations, I'm not going to nickname it. Next, you can select its nature. So let's make this one a careful nature. Held item. Let's give it a berry. And friendship level, let's give it 1. So that means it's going to have actually 1 heart. And you can select the form. I personally prefer the sky form. And you can select the ability. Just leave it at the first one, because they don't differentiate. Now, here's one thing that's really important to remember. Many people are referring to what's known as bad eggs. Personally, I recommend do not make your power saves in eggs. Personally, what I recommend is keep them as infected, so that way you do get the Pkhex. Next up, select your country. So for example, I'm in Canada, sub-region Alberta, and 3DS region is America. So keep in mind, sadly for those of you that are in Europe, it's not going to work. For those of you in Japan and Asia, it's not going to work because the 3DS unfortunately is region locked. Met location, I can basically say anywhere, so let's say I met in Desert Room, just for the heck of it. Put it in a Dream Ball. Met at level 5. Now stats, many people have asked me, how do I make the stats? How do I make them believable? Honestly, I just go to randomize and then random IVs. These are going to be believable stats. In fact, the program itself won't allow you to put higher stats than the maximum stat that it can have at that level, which is actually something that's quite interesting. Next up, we go into attacks. So what do you want it to learn? Now, honestly, I never use Shaymin in battle, so I don't actually know what kind of what kind of moves it can actually learn. So I'm actually going to look that up, because I want this to be a believable Pokemon. Whenever I make a power save, I want to make it as believable as possible. So for example, I'm just looking up the moves that it could learn. So a good moveset at level 30, probably going to be Magical Leaf, Leech Seed, and let's teach it Sweet Scent as well. And heck, let's also give it a specialty move, Seed Flare. So just basically click on the arrow, drop down menu appears, select the move from there. This is another area that you can end up making it not so believable. Just keep in mind, it will not allow you on the battle network. So next option is where you can decide to give it moves that it could relearn. So you go to the move tutor. These are moves that it's going to be able to learn. Let's say like you hatch it from an egg. Next up, we go into the original trainer. So I'm going to actually put my own trainer number in there, and I'm a male trainer. Let's see. Six 0204, and that's my own number. Rims or medals, if you do want to give it any, that's completely up to you. I'm not going to give it any, because I do actually want it to Alright, so after you're done creating your Pokemon, well, here you can go into memories and edit those. But anyways, that's not necessarily important. Here you can put a bunch of markings on it if you want. So let's say it's infected with Pokerus, it's going to show up already. Anyways, so after you're done creating your Pokemon, you go into File, Save As. Personally, I would recommend for easy access, create a folder on your desktop. That way you're not going to be having any issues trying to locate the file for easy access. So call it whatever it's going to automatically default to name. Just simply click Save. So now, let's minimize this guy and open up the second link that I provided in the description. This guy is quite easy to use. So you go into your folder that you have the save file. So waiting for it to boot up. So like I said, include it on your desktop so it's much easier to find. This is all the stuff that's on my desktop right now. So I called it Dumpbox because, well, first thing that came to mind. Anyways, so we want to make sure that this is not open all the way for an easy access. So quite simply, click this, drag it, and post it over there. Now you're going to get a QR code like this. So for easy export, what I recommend to do is double click on it and then right click Save Image As, and then you can call it whatever. So for example, I'm saving that in my folder right now. So now before I upload the code, I'm going to make sure that that actually works. On my previous video, I do mention how to actually input a QR code. So I'm just going to do that right now. So just as a confirmation, the Pokemon that is actually pointed on by my arrow is actually the Pokemon that it did generate. We can check out all the stats, we can check out absolutely everything. It does compare perfectly. So the last question that I know I'm going to get asked is, how do I upload to Facebook? It's actually quite easy. Simply type in the Pokemon, and now we go find that picture that we just saved. So for example, that QR code, that would be this guy, right over here in my pictures. Open, wait for it to download, and press enter. There's not much more than that. How much more easier can it get? Anyways, if there is any questions, feel free to leave any messages or concerns on the comments below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Talk to you guys later.